Today we're going to take some 1¼ inch PVC pipe and some fittings, and we're going to make a fishing rod holder. But not just any fishing rod holder. If you stick around the end, you're going to see that I've added a twist. First thing we're going to need to do is take our 1¼ inch PVC pipe, and we're going to measure off 12 inches. Instead of using a hacksaw, if you've seen in some of my previous videos, I like to use this Japanese saw. It's got a wide blade with fine teeth. And it's going to allow us to cut that off nice and straight. The interesting thing about a Japanese saw is it cuts on the pull instead of the push. We're going to cut 2 of these because, like I said, we're going to do something interesting at the end. So we're going to make 2 versions. We're going to measure back from the end 3 inches. We're going to do that on both ends. Same thing here and here. At this point, we're going to take a 1/4 inch drill bit. And we're going to drill down through our 1¼ inch PVC and out the other side. We're going to do that on both ends. Next, we're taking a 7/16 drill bit and we're enlarging our hole on only one side. If you have a pretty aggressive bit, there's a chance that your bit will try to drill all the way through quickly. So one little trick to help that is stick a little piece of wood in the bottom of your piece of PVC, and then if your drill bit runs through too quick, it's not going to drive into the next side. It's just going to bump the wood. Small holes on one side, large holes on the other. On what will be the rod end of our PVC, we want to run a line from the 7/16 hole that we made to the end of our 1¼ inch pipe, and we want to put that line on each side of the hole that we drilled, like this. And we'll be cutting that line out later on. We want to open this up so that it accepts the rod easier and it's not such a sharp cut. So to do that, I've seen other people heat up the end of a PVC pipe and put it down over a wine bottle or something like that. But one of the ways I found that we can do that the easiest is I got this little metal funnel, and all we have to do is run a screw down through the top in our workbench and fasten that funnel underneath. And then we just tighten this down. Okay, we've got our metal funnel fastened down. And now what I'm going to do is run this pipe down over it once I heat it up, and that should open up the end of the pipe. We want to do that on the end where we're going to make our cut for our fishing pole. So we just need to heat it up. I've put a little mark on the funnel here to give me an idea how far I've traveled when I push the 1¼ inch PVC pipe down over it. And that's just to give me a point of reference. I know once we heat this up and we flange it out, and we remove it from the funnel, as it cools, it'll return a little bit to its original shape. So I want to be sure I get at least past that mark, so as it cools, it still stays in the shape that I want. So let's do that. I'm using a heat gun to heat this flange. It really doesn't take very much heat. You just need to get it good and warm, probably about a minute. And run the heat down the inside as well so that you're warm inside and out. And then we just push our pipe down over the metal funnel Don't push too hard, we don't want to make a big dimple here. Hold it till it cools. Now that it's cooled, we've got a nice flange on the upper end of our pipe where the handle will be. And the next step will be to cut out this section that we've marked off here from the hole we made out to the end. We didn't want to do it first, or when we tried to flange the pipe, it would open up too much. So the next task will be to cut this away. We're going to use our Japanese saw and saw out these lines. Okay, we've cut through that. Now all we need to do is clean up these edges, and we might want to put a little trim up here on the front corner. And we can do that with scissors if we heat it up. We'll warm these corners up just a little bit so they're softer. And then we can give them a little snip as well. And that'll make that opening a little bit more inviting for your fishing rod. Next thing we're going to do is take sandpaper and clean up all our rough edges. Just make sure everything's nice and smooth. Same thing down below. We've got this rod holder, and it's pretty well finished. Okay, we've got holes in the back for our screws, access here and access here to get to our screws. All we need to do is paint this up, and it's going to be a good looking rod holder for our boat. But I'm not finished. I've got 1 1/4 inch coupling, 1 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch adapter, and I've got a 1/2 inch to male adapter, and I've got a piece of 1/2 inch PVC. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the end of my 1/2 inch PVC here at an angle so that it'll have a sharp point. Okay. On the other end, we're going to glue on our 1/2 inch to male adapter. On the opposite end from the pole end of our holder, I've got this 1 1/4 inch coupling, and we're going to glue it on right here, and then we're going to put this 1/2 inch to 1 1/4 inch adapter in our coupling. Okay, once we've done that, we'll be able to screw this 1/2 inch pipe into the bottom of our rod holder. And now, as you can see, what we've got a rod holder that we can push into the bank, and now we've got a bank side rod holder. We're going to glue these parts together, but first thing I'm going to do is put on some gloves. Especially the PVC cleaner really stains. So just take a moment here and stick on our gloves, and then we can go to work gluing up these parts. It's important when you're gluing PVC to make sure that all your parts are clean, and you can do that by using a little sandpaper. It also roughs the surface up so that the glue will hold. We'll also use our cleaner. The cleaner cleans and etches the PVC a little bit. So we open up our cleaner, and like I said, it can be quite messy. Run that around the end. inside of here, around the outside of this one, and inside of this one. Outside bottom of our rod holder. Since all these parts are straight, we don't have to mark them as far as orientation. There's no left or right. If you're putting an elbow or a T or something on your PVC, you'd need to mark it when you dry fit it just to be sure it goes together. But we're going to take our all-purpose PVC cement and run a bit around a rod holder and our coupling. Those go together. Coupling and our size adapter here together. This part doesn't get glued, it'll screw together so you can take it apart when you transport it. And the only thing we really have left is a little bit of glue in the end of this and some glue around the end of our 1/2 inch pipe. Glue those together. And we'll let those dry while we put away our glue. All we need now is to paint. And there you have it. We've taken 1¼ inch PVC and with some creativity we've made a rod holder. It's got 2 screw holes and it'll work great in my boat. I've taken the same design but I modified it and added a twist. And the twist is we take this 1/2 inch piece of PVC, cut it at an angle to make a sharp bottom and add a threaded end on the other end. And you can screw this on your rod holder and now we can use this on the bank when we're fishing. So, rod holder with a twist. If you like my videos, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And if you'd like to see some more of my videos, just click right there. We'll see you next time.